Now, let's try it again. Okay, so I had to delete the other one. And back to what I was saying before. How are you guys doing? It is our 2022 year in review. The 3 Count Rumble is on. Sorry for people who were here before, and then I suddenly dipped out and then suddenly came back. Hopefully everybody sticks around this time. But we're gonna do literally chaos tonight because there's a lot of stuff going on, and I really have not had an opportunity to do too much in the way of preparation. I know I had an hour between when I left work and the start of this show to get something prepared. But how do you prepare for a year in review? You know, there's so much going on. So, hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? There is a lot to discuss tonight. Sports Illustrated, their top wrestlers of the year, their top 10 wrestlers of the year. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit more about Dragon Lee. We're going to talk a little bit more about Dax Harwood and his podcast. We're going to talk about quite a bit here tonight. Hopefully I'll be able to get this done in 2 hours. I want to be able to look at, a lot of people's different opinions over who's the tag team of the year, the wrestler of the year, the match of the year, that kind of thing. And just have some fun with this. Now, in terms of smart tiers, now, this is what I kind of wanted to discuss. A lot of people have been sending me messages saying that I need to do a smart tiers over particularly 2 different things. The Dax Harwood podcast and how many different people are upset about that, and the Dragon Lee signing to WWE thing. I have to say both of those are very worthy of doing smart tiers. I want to make one of them the first one of the year, and I want to make the other one the last one of the year, depending on how much time I actually have. So, but I want to do quite a few things because there's some stuff in the past that I probably would have talked about if I'd have done a show to talk about it, but I didn't, so I didn't talk about it. For instance, how many people have been paying attention to Eddie Kingston tweeting out about fuckboys joining AEW? That was pretty random, wasn't it? There was Becky Lynch's ex-boyfriend, who has been a chatty patty, is talking to Freddie Prinze Jr. about her relationship with Charlotte, which is just 100% gossip. And a lot of this stuff about Dax Harwood, his thoughts on Road Dogg, and a bunch of other stuff, just so much stuff going around. It's impossible for me to keep up with everything. It's just, it's too much. Tony Khan went on a Mark podcast and started talking out of his neck. It's just been a lot of stuff going on. AJ3 asking me about the Tory Lanez verdict. Yes, I did hear about the Tory Lanez verdict. I am not a fan of Tory Lanez or Megan Thee Stallion. I'm going to be honest and say that I think they just did not like him. And people don't understand is that that's a lot of what goes on in the courts is they don't like you. He probably made himself very unlikable. But also I didn't follow the case, so I can't give you any detailed breakdown of the case. But I did see occasionally they would tweet out that his DNA was not on the gun, for instance, which means his fingerprints, sweats, blood, saliva, whatever, was not on the gun. But he was covered in gunpowder, apparently. I can tell you that being covered in gunpowder is not the same as it's not the to be too on the nose. It's not the smoking gun that people would think it is. If you're around a gun that's been fired, you might get gunpowder on you. So just because he had gunpowder on it didn't mean he actually shot her. Yes, a lot of people are saying, well, if she got shot in the foot, why does she still have a foot? Where's the hole in her foot? Why didn't she lose toes or anything like that? I don't know. There's a lot of that stuff that I didn't really follow. I think some people are just kind of falling on the side of either you reflexively like Megan Thee Stallion and therefore you're happy about this, or you reflexively like Tory Lanez, or maybe you just don't like Megan Thee Stallion. You think she's a liar, and you think this is bullshit. Generally speaking, I think the guy wanted to beat this. I think he obviously wanted to beat the case, but it's. I think he wanted to beat this without really putting up much of a. And look, he doesn't have to put up a defense. They have to put up a good offense. That's what the prosecutor's job is, to take away the doubt. Did they do a good job of that? I don't know. It seems to me that it might have been unfair. That's just my opinion. AJ3 says, and don't forget NXT. You missed the review for NXT, or did you get to record it when you got sick? Actually, I watched NXT, and then I was going to do the review, but I couldn't stop coughing, and my nose wouldn't stop running. So I was just kind of like, you know what? Instead of sniffling and coughing all through this thing, I'm just going to cancel it and not do it. So that's pretty much what happened. And now that you mention it, I can't even find my fucking notes. So I can't even tell you what to know. I could do a quick NXT review right now. Tony D'Angelo got hosed. Dijak still exists, so that does not make me happy. Okay, Wendy Chu won a match. That sucks. All right, the only it sucks. She beat Cora Jade. That sucks. All right, Julius Creed was very good as usual. So that was nice. They're finally going to have the match with Indu Share. That's dope. The vignette for Toxic Attraction, a lot of people are very upset because Mandy was kind of I don't want to say erased, but she wasn't mentioned. But that's classic WWE. They don't mention people that they fired. She got released. Why would they spend too much time on her? They're not going to do that. It's WWE we're talking about here. They act like people don't exist. It's like a bitter ex-girlfriend sometimes. You go from being boo to being blocked. And that's kind of how they are for right now. Happy New Year to everybody. Because this will be the last live stream of the year. I believe the Sunday stream will be the first of the year. Because the Sunday is the first, right? Yeah. Maybe we could do I'm not going to make that promise. I was about to say maybe we could do a crossing over into the New Year live stream, but I'm not about to make that promise because I don't know what I got planned. I don't have no plans, but I don't know what other people got planned for me. So we're gonna leave that one a little bit open. But the Sunday stream probably really should happen. All right. So NXT was fine. It wasn't. It didn't do good in terms of the ratings. The ratings plummeted, but it ought to do fine next week. I really liked the Grayson Waller promo where Brian Breaker is very salty about spearing that metal plate, and Grayson Waller is now in Australia, hanging out and doing fun stuff. All right, TN Pyro says, what are we talking about tonight? I ended up doing a quick NXT review because I did not do an NXT review because I was sick. So, we're going to talk about, never mind all that noise. Matter of fact, let me mute this real quick. We'll be talking about Wrestler of the Year, Match of the Year. I'm trying to search the internet for different sites that are picking their Match of the Year, Wrestler of the Year. It's not actually looking very good. Some of it is just so ridiculous that I really don't want to talk about it. But Sports Illustrated put theirs up. I wonder if ESPN did a Wrestler of the Year. So many people are just basically falling into whatever pit they chose anyway. Some people are just kind of going into match quality, that kind of stuff. Other people are, success levels, different things like that. But We're going to be talking about Eddie Kingston's tweets in 1 second because I still do have those tweets. We're going to look at some of the responses, not all of them, some of the responses towards Dragon Lee signing with WWE. We're going to be looking at the Dax Harwood stuff. There's actually some audio that Dax Harwood had that I think was pretty good. So I want to utilize some of that. The Vince Russo, Jeff Jarrett beef, which, I mean, it's kind of pathetic when you think about it. It's pretty sad, you know. But a lot of the talking is about Dragon Lee and WWE right now. That has really kind of taken over, and it's been pretty funny. You know, it's been pretty humorous because people have been very, very tight-assed about this whole thing, and I'm kind of embarrassed, man. Like, I'm kind of embarrassed that so many people are just so upset about this whole thing, you know. Okay, yeah, it's gotten weird. Here's the thing, AJ3. I want somebody to explain to me, when did WWE ever take somebody's mask? When have they ever done it? I don't think WWE has ever signed a masked luchador and then forced them to take their mask off. I don't think it's ever happened. Almost everybody that WWE that wrestled in a mask and wrestled in WWE, they were either unmasked before they got there, or, yeah, all of them were unmasked before they got there. I don't think they have taken anybody's mask off. Nobody. La Sombra was already unmasked. That would be Andrade. He was already unmasked. Psychosis was already unmasked. Hoovy was already unmasked. Ray was already unmasked. They put Ray's mask back on. They wanted to unmask Ultimo Dragon. He refused, and they didn't bother to force him to do it. They just jobbed him out. So why would the idea come from that they would take Dragon Lee's mask? Like, where would that come from? I can't think of any. So where did the idea that WWE is just going to snatch this kid's mask, like, where does that come from? It's just like people keep coming up with these nightmare ideas. It's like, it's never happened. it's never happened. Almost all of these guys were already unmasked by the time they came to WWE. I think Del Rio was doing MMA in a fucking mask. I think he might have been the only one. If you're doing MMA in a mask, you're just out of your fucking mind. Yeah, El Cano, you know, Le Big Red Machine. He's the only one that they've ever unmasked. Like, that's it. They haven't even unmasked Ray. Like, it's crazy. They put Ray's mask back on. I don't get it. I don't understand where that comes from. And I've been seeing that stuff all day, that, you know, he's gonna get unmasked, and I'm like, they didn't unmask Mystico. They didn't even unmask the fucking fake Sin Cara that everybody knows is not even really Sin Cara. They didn't even unmask that fucking guy. They didn't unmask Gran Metalik. He still had his mask. They didn't unmask Sensei Dorado. He still had his mask. They didn't unmask Kalisto. He still had his mask. Where does this idea that WWE is just going to take his mask come from? I don't know. They don't unmask people. They don't. However, there is some very interesting things. Let's talk about Dragon Lee since we're here. Lucha Blog put it in my mind when he tweeted out who from WWE was watching AAA to get them to clip Dragon Lee's speech out of his promo and put it on WWE's Twitter account. Who did that? Who was watching the show? Somebody had to know he was going to win that night. And the conspiracies are out, right? That there's a mole. All right, it's not really a mole. It was Finn Balor. Okay, Finn Balor was the one who actually recruited Dragon Lee to WWE. It's not. Dragon Lee already said it. Yeah, so it's not like it's a big conspiracy. Also, WWE wanted to sign his brother Roosh when Roosh was in Ring of Honor. So the idea that this is another one that comes out of nowhere. This one comes from Dave Meltzer. The idea that WWE was not interested in Dragon Lee at all until he was on AEW TV. Well, look, let's talk about that. He was on AEW television one time. Can somebody please find the date of that match? He was on AEW television one time. Once. And then all of this stuff came flying out of nowhere. Roosh did not sign with WWE because Andrade asked him not to. That's why. Andrade was trying to get out when they was trying to get Roosh in. So then Roosh stayed out. Then Ring of Honor died. And now Roosh is in AEW. And now Andrade is out of AEW. So how about that? And look, WWE is a much different place because Vince is not there. But even Vince didn't unmask people. But ultimately, the amount of people who think that Dragon Lee is owed an AEW contract, like, bro, it's been months. It's been at least 2 months since Dragon Lee was on an episode of Dynamite. Tony Khan signed Bandito mere minutes after he had that match with Chris Jericho. Mere minutes afterwards. This is the same Bandito, for the record, that Tony Khan had lose to Jonathan Gresham on a Ring of Honor show. Had him lose to Jonathan Gresham, the same Jonathan Gresham that ended up walking out on Tony Khan. So Tony Khan, who is obviously the guy who knows everything, didn't sign Bandito when he first saw him. Signed him after, probably Jericho told him to do it, and has not done shit with Bandito since. Has Bandito been on AEW TV since his match with Chris Jericho? I think he's probably had one match since, and he lost that one too. And maybe he's been wrestling on Dark. I don't know, man. It was goofy. Yes, and D-Mac is correct. They brought Dragon Lee in and they beat him on AEW TV and took his mask off. They shot an angle with Dragon Lee and then didn't bring him back. But we're supposed to believe that AEW got this diamond in the rough stolen from them. Get the fuck out of here, man. That's bullshit. You didn't have anything to do with the guy. You were pushing Andrade and you were pushing Roosh. Andrade did what Andrade does, which is, cause mayhem. And Roosh is just kind of like, hey, shit. I mean, I'm just trying to get some ducats, bro. Goddamn. Trying to make some money here. They had no plans on bringing Dragon Lee back. You think they did? And they just, what was they waiting for? Roosh is still there. They could have continued the Dragon Lee Roosh story if they wanted to. They didn't want to. They're too busy doing Roosh and, what is this, Private Party? Who is he in a storyline with? I don't even fucking know. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. AEW fans did not even watch their own fucking product. I don't even know when that match was. It was at least 2 months ago. It was before the last pay-per-view. Absolutely, D-Mac. Why not try to keep everybody together? You had everybody in the fucking... Oh, God. Here's the funny thing. Here's another funny thing that came out. Dralistico, the second brother of Roosh. The original story was that Dralistico and Dragon Lee both were brought to WWE to do workouts. And WWE passed on Dralistico and signed Dragon Lee. Then it turns out that from Denise Salcedo says that Dralistico and WWE have never had any conversations. So, Jesus, what are they doing? Dralistico is at least a recurring. I think he's going to probably be a Ring of Honor guy for AEW. But it was stupid. It's stupid. Everybody who's upset about this is an idiot. Wrestlers come and go, man. They come and they go, bro. You know, like, only thing I can say is the brother probably just don't want to get paid in pesos anymore, and that's where I want to start, because I saw some of the funniest, well, some of the weirdest tweets. I almost wanted to start with Eddie Kingston, but we'll come back to Eddie Kingston. This one is pretty good. This guy's, I'm pretty sure, is a Mexican. Here's what he had to say about Dragon Lee joining WWE. Yes, Dragon Lee is only 27. That's the best thing about him. The guy is built like a Greek god. He's super fast. He's incredibly talented. Only thing is English. That's going to be the only thing that's going to hold him back. But the guy is less than 30. He's perfect NXT age. He's a little bit older than some of the NIL talent. He's got almost 10 years on Thea Hale. But most of those other people are peers. You know, he's probably like 2 or 3 years older than them. He's not 10 years older than they are. You know, that would have been NXT Black and Gold. He's got to be fucking 38 or something like that. You know? But here's what this guy, I'm pretty sure he's a Mexican journalist or something like that. Mexican wrestling journalist. And he says, fuck, man, if AAA or CMLL don't get their shit together and fight back like Japan, WWE is going to come into Mexico with Dragon Lee and fuck both promotions, which is probably going to end up happening anyway. And I said that it was going to end up probably happening. He says, I want to address one of these I've seen outrage Dragon Lee to WWE tweets. I find it fucked up how y'all are saying that he's leaving Mexico because he doesn't make money. That's so disingenuous to me. Like, come on, none of the Munoz brothers are hurting for money. He's obviously going because that's the only place he hasn't gone to, and he's chasing that stupid WWE mythical Rey Mysterio spot that every Mexican luchador chases after, hoping they're the next big thing for WWE when Rey hangs it up. But fucks, man, if you're a big star in Mexico, you get paid like a big star, just like how many WWE, AEW, or New Japan main eventers would get paid. People making it seem like people have no success if they in Mexico makes guys like El Hijo del Santo, Blue Panther, Blue Demon, Atlantis, and other legends' success feel meaningless. Look at freaking Phoenix and Pentagon in AEW. They built their own lanes and aren't chasing the shadows of Ray or Eddie. Look at freaking Pentagon, who was a special guest of Kettle for the Monday Night Football game in Mexico and was all over the TV. Or when Bayley was on the other day, they didn't even show highlights of her. It was nothing but Penta highlights. Look, I get that the WWE is a culturally relevant wrestling company, but let's not act like you have to go there to be successful. That's disrespectful to every Mexican or Japanese legend. Look, I don't disagree with that last point, but the fucking guy doesn't want to get paid in pesos. No, I'm just call it like I see it, man. There's American rich and then there's Mexican rich. All right? It's two different things. All right? That's just two different things. You know, his English is not that great. But, and I was just about to go into this. Stephen Smith beat me to it. Conan talked about it. Conan was a top guy, multi-millionaire in Mexico. Right? Had tigers and mansions and shit. And he said he's getting paid more money in WCW to be an undercard guy than he made in any time he was in Mexico. And that fucked my brain up. You know? Because if you look at a lot of the old footage of Conan, he was making tons of fucking money. He was a top draw. Literally, they call him the Hulk Hogan of Mexico. There's literally footage of Conan with like living like Mike Tyson. Like there's white tigers and shit on his porch. he's on the news. He's covering like gold chains and shit. This was long before he was in the NWO and all that stuff. Coming to the United States, he made more money. How could that possibly be? Well, it's a different economy. Conan will tell you himself, Mexico is a third world country, brother. It is what it is. It's not the fault of the wrestler, you know, but they understand you can be successful in Mexico, and there's no shame in being successful where you come from. But that's like being hood rich. That's like being hood famous. Okay, yeah, you're known between these two blocks. You step outside those blocks, it's a little bit different. Everybody wants to know what it's like to step outside those blocks. And plus, Dragon Lee is a guy who, at 27, has done pretty much everything. He's already been to Japan. They changed his name in New Japan, though. Understand, they really got upset because they keep saying, oh, they're going to change his name. Yeah, they're going to change his name. They're going to change his name to something they can trademark. But New Japan changed the name, they call him Ryu Lee. Because Ryu means dragon. It's Ryu Lee. So if you ever want to look up Dragon Lee in New Japan, it's Ryu Lee. And he's wrestling Hiromu Takahashi. Those matches were pretty fucking good. Alright? Guy is tremendous. It's very rare that I get excited about a work rate guy. Just let me be excited about the work rate guy, for Christ's sake. Everybody's so uptight about this thing. It's a guy signing to a wrestling company. Then people got all tight ass because he was going to NXT first. What? Of course he was going to NXT first. Everybody except AJ Styles and Mike Bennett. And we've seen the two extremes of how that can work out. AJ Styles did great. Mike Bennett, not so much. Might want to go through NXT first. You know? Besides, it's easier for him in NXT. You know? He can get used to the style. He can get used to the crowds. He doesn't have to try to scratch up interest on the main roster coming in cold or something like that. These people don't think about that kind of stuff. You know? It's a different world now, man. A lot of people want you to have an introduction first. You know? They want to be able to get a feel for you first. Instead of you trying to come in and finding a place on the main roster, come in and find a place on the NXT roster first. There's tons of fucking matches for him to have. Why not have them? Why not have them? I don't know, man. But there's a lot of people upset about the NXT part of this deal. They thought he was going to go to the main roster. He's not. He's going through NXT first. Pretty clear to me. He's not going to be in NXT for long. I can almost guarantee you that. Because really, the only people who are going to be in NXT for a long time are the people who don't fit the main roster currently. Like, I'm surprised that, you know, Carmelo Hayes is still down there. But they've got a plan in NXT. They're talking about, again, 6-month evaluations. If you think that Dragon Lee is very good, he's not going to have a problem getting past those 6 months evaluations, is he? Of course not. He's not going to get canned in 6 months. You know, so I can pretty much tell you, get ready for him to be there for at least 2 or 3 years. And unless he gets super frustrated and quits, he ought to do just fine. Even if he doesn't become, you know, the next Rey Mysterio, which I think is asking a lot. And I do agree with that part, that people shouldn't be chasing the Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Super Mexican spot, the Pedro Morales spot. You know, which I think is probably more appropriate to call it. It's better to call it the Pedro Morales spot. Yeah, we shouldn't be chasing that. You know? But yeah, Andrew Tate got arrested. That was hilarious. Anyway, it's better off being yourself. But you can't help that you are the same race and, you know, nationality as some other people, and they they compare you. I mean, it is what it is. You know, New Japan got to have their top gaijin. They're always going to be compared to Stan Hansen and Vader and Bruiser Brody and all those guys. Will Ospreay still gets compared to Kenny Omega. You know, what they got in common besides being two white guys? Well, they're both pussies. That much is true. I don't like either one of them. Yeah, Andre Chase ain't never leaving NXT. You can forget it. Well, because he's already older than most people. I don't know how old Harlem Bravado is, man, but he's got to be in his 30s. I'm talking mid-30s. He was in Evolve for a long time, too. He's got to be in his mid-30s. But the Dragon Lee stuff is really phenomenal. How people can have this sort of attitude about something that should be viewed as a positive. You know, Triple H tweeted about the guy. Shawn Michaels tweeted about him. This is the first signing that they came out with for the new year. So they're really making this a big deal. You know, they announced him. You know, so they clearly care about the guy. He's not going to be... Well, they care about, you know, Kylie Ray, too. They're probably going to sign her, too. She's probably going to be brought in. She's already wrestled on Main Event. You know? So, they're already gearing up the next NXT crew to be a very special bunch. You know, quite a few indie wrestlers. Okay. Okay. I wonder if they're going to pull any Japanese wrestlers, though. I'm going to say this. As much as I love Dragon Lee, and I think it's phenomenal that he's going to get this opportunity, I'm still kind of sitting back, and I'm going to put on my progressive hat for a moment, and I'm going to say, why are we not signing any luchadoras? We need some female luchadors. You know, I don't understand. They need to let me recruit for WWE, because there is a chick who was in Ring of Honor. Petite girl, cute, I forget what her name is. As soon as I started thinking about her, I forget what her name is. She was in the Ring of Honor tournament. The Bariqua Baddie. What was her name? Somebody knows it. She wrestles with her mask off, I think. But she wears a mask, but she wrestles with it off sometimes. But she speaks perfect English. She's from like fucking New York. She's like Kalisto. You know, like she's from like fucking New York or something like that. But she's like Puerto Rican or something, like, you know. So it could have worked out if they don't really just bring in some more Hispanic chicks, man. What the fuck is that girl? Miranda Alizé, that's her name. Miranda Alizé. Thunder Rosa may be available. Oh my good God. Oh, ooh, boy. Ooh. Well, Thunder Rosa supposedly is, you know, on paralysis, and, you know, she needs life support to get her back working and all that nonsense. So who knows how long it's going to take for her to get her shit together. Okay. Yes, NXT technically 3.5 because it's not a whole new era yet. It's technically NXT 3.5. But Andre Chase is 33. Are you serious? Is that real? He's only 33? I thought he was like 35, man, 36. I wonder what Tony Khan thinks about Jonathan Gresham now that he signed with Impact. I'm pretty sure he don't care. Jonathan Gresham isn't somebody he could have used anyway. I can see him believing that a guy like Jonathan Gresham, he was doing that guy a favor, you know. He's probably doing that guy a favor. All right. Let's talk about Eddie Kingston's tweets, because Eddie Kingston's tweets have been very, very weird. He came out of nowhere shortly after the Rick Ross segment. He tweeted out on December the 22nd. This is 3 days before Christmas. Yep, Miranda Alizé was she was in Reality of Wrestling. She was also in Ring of Honor. She was in that Ring of Honor women's tournament. She didn't win it, of course, But I don't understand why she is still unsigned. You know, you could literally, of course, go to Mexico and get some female luchadors, but I think having somebody who speaks English works a lot better than, you know, that's what's going to be, that's what all Dragon Lee and NXT is going to be about, is him doing English, you know. That's him having to learn fucking English. That's going to be a tough time for him. He's going to be like Ikemen Jiro until, until the end. Stay all strong. So, this guy, this Eddie Kingston. So 3 days before Christmas, December 22nd, Eddie Kingston tweeted out about more and more fuckboys coming to AEW. And I was worried. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, what does that mean? Okay. What fuckboys? What are we discussing here? His next tweet was a song. Lloyd Banks, Officer Down, Rick Ross diss. So clearly, Eddie Kingston was talking about Rick Ross. Yes, Fatty Kingston. Twinkie Kingston. He's calling your boy Ricky Rose an officer. And you know what? He ain't wrong, because it is true that motherfucker was a he was a prison guard, I believe, if it was. Selena De La Renta, yes, Bradley Gamble is correct. WWE was trying to sign her, and she said that they were in the middle of negotiating when Mark Carrano was fired over the trash bag incident. Like, he was going through the whole thing with Mickey James while he was talking to Selena De La Renta, and he got fired. And I guess they just haven't. She's very young too. She's only like 25 or 26 or something like that. She's very young too. She could definitely be. Why not, bro? Why not? But yeah, Eddie Kingston is taking shots at Rick Ross, and so then he starts tweeting out, so many little egomaniacs just texting me, LOL. Like, that's nutty right there. That a guy who's supposed to be street and tough like Eddie Kingston would have so many LOLs in one tweet. What's wrong with you, brother? Then he says, I love fucking with the insecure. Then he starts going after he starts going after your boy Switchblade Jay White. Because Jay White called him a fuck boy. He said he started a trend. It was interesting, because we know that AEW does not like when their talent are going after each other. And then Rick Ross is a very special guest, you know? He's actually there to help get Swerve over. So Eddie Kingston going at him, tweeting out diss records towards Rick Ross, is like, is this guy going into business for himself, or is this about to lead to an angle? What's about to happen here? I don't see that this is anything other than this fucking guy going into business for himself, which is classic Eddie Kingston. All right. And I'm pretty sure people didn't put two and two together, because a lot of people were like, who was he talking about when he was talking about fuckboys coming to AEW? The very next tweet is a Lloyd Banks diss record. It's the very next tweet. And people are, it's going over their head, like, it's like, bro, he's talking about Rick Ross. All right. You know, I don't. He didn't take his meds that day, clearly. All right. He decided to go double down on some snows or whatever, and fucking said, fuck it. We about to do my own thing. Is Eddie Kingston even a part of this roster anymore? Does he even wrestle anymore? He ain't been on Dynamite in ages. I don't think he's been on Dynamite since he slapped Sammy Guevara. I don't think he's been on there since. AJ3 says, Mongo, I know the name of the skinhead guy was Swerve, and Parker Woodrow, his name is Grandin Goatsman. You could have kept that name to yourself, bro. That's his real name? Or is that, what are they going to call him? Because Grandin Goatsman is some bullshit. I would keep that one hidden. I would, and to be quite honest, Parker Boudreaux, he needs to get rid of that name too. Wrestling under your real name is not always a good idea. Please come up with a gimmick name, brother. You know, Parker is probably not even a. It's not even a good name. That name sucks. He sounds like he's 5. I don't want to see any adults named Parker. You know, stop. You're an adult. Change your name, please. Eddie Kingston likes to shoot, but he don't. You know, he don't. Things get tough for him though, because you know he's sensitive. He's all sensitive about his fatness and everything, right? And his hairiness and all that shit, right? And you talk about his bipolarism, his alcoholism, and all that bullshit, he might break down and start crying. Fucking plumber, roofer, electrician. It's embarrassing. It sucks. It absolutely does. Oh, good Lord. These Nikita Lyons Christmas pictures. Jesus Christ. He doesn't have enough. The Nikita Lyons Christmas pictures are alright, man. Why can't Mandy just do something like this? You know? Why can't she just put out some nice, horny Christmas pictures and some booty shorts or something? Why she had to go and rub one out in front of the camera? Why you have to go and do that? You know, that's a... that Grandin guy, what Rhea Ripley will look like in 5 years. She doesn't slow down detectives. Did you see? Oh, it was on Twitter. I wish maybe I'll have to go and find it. That there was a before and after picture of Rhea Ripley, like when she first came to the United States, and how she looks now. For starters, she's better looking now, but my God, she's like doubled in size. Somehow she's got taller, I think. I don't know how that happened, but it seems like she's just got big. Like she ate one of those fucking Mario mushrooms. It just doubled in size and her hair fell out. I don't know what the hell happened. She's like a completely different fucking person. But it's not Charlotte, you know, where Charlotte has like 3 or 4 different faces. You know, you're not really sure. Like I was watching the Ric Flair documentary. I wasn't even sure who Charlotte was. I'm just like, who the fuck is this chick? You know, I'm thinking it's Megan. It's fucking Ashley. You know, I'm just kind of like, good Lord. You know, she's huge, man. She's huge. She's fucking big. He's fucking big, man. I don't know what's going on with Charlotte, but she even looked different in that documentary than the last time I saw her. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Charlotte, man. It's weird. That Ric Flair documentary, don't spare yourself. Don't even watch that shit, man. It was stupid. The first 10 minutes are kind of good though, because you learn a little bit about Ric Flair's adoption, and you can look at it and you can see that they know what his real name is now. Like, that's fucked up. This guy's in his 70s. He just found out what his parents actually named him, and it's fucking pathetic. And when he said it out loud, I was like, "What the? I don't ever need to hear that again." You know, I never need to hear that again. That's something I only need to hear once. All right, but apparently, Ric Flair has a real brother, same mother. That guy actually chased down Ric Flair's adoption papers, saw that they had the same mother, contacted Ric Flair's wife, told him, "I'm his brother. This is who his real parents are, yada, yada, yada." But he had no interest in pursuing it. He didn't care. He's 74. He doesn't give a fuck about his real parents. And that was the most interesting part of the documentary. Because I was like, damn, are they going to bring Ric Flair's brother out here? Like, that would be great to be able to bring out, like, yeah, my name's like Carl Phillips, and I'm the blood brother of Ric Flair. You know, like, this guy was like 80 or something like that, right? But no, they just They told this story about him basically being given away to an orphanage, and then how he was raised by rich people in Tennessee and in Minnesota rather, and well, no, it was right, Tennessee. He was raised in Tennessee. And it just was the regular Ric Flair story from there. The only other new thing was that he got struck by lightning. And it really wasn't that he got struck by lightning. It was that somebody behind him got struck by lightning. Other than that, you could have just watched any of the other Ric Flair documentaries and, you know, who cares? Just who gives a shit? Look, I like Eddie Kingston. I really do. But he's just one of those 80s New York guys. You know, like, that New York doesn't exist anymore, bro. You know, like, that boots and jeans MOP New York, that shit dead. Nobody believes that shit no more, man. Like, that's the kind of stuff that really kind of makes me laugh when it comes to Eddie Kingston. You know? Because he moves, like, I think he even tweeted it out once, like it's 1998 permanently in his head. And it's like, yeah, that ain't New York no more, dog. You know? You know, like, there used to be a New York where, like, Big Pun and Fat Joe would be outside calling each other niggas and stuff. You know? Like, that ain't even happening no more. Because Fat Joe's, like, apologizing for using the N-word now. Like, oh, I didn't know I couldn't say that. Like, what? We didn't give a shit. Never gave a fuck about Big Pun calling somebody a nigga. I never cared. Now he buckling under the pressure. I'm sorry. What are you gonna do? You gonna go through all these old albums and delete the shit? Get the fuck out of here. It's a completely different. No, the New York you're talking about is that shit dead. That shit dead. Top Dog says Lola Vice chick is super. Oh my god, she's incredible. She's incredible. That girl's incredible, man. She did a little TikTok dance that they posted up on the online. I thought that shit was excellent, bro. I think it was her and her sister. Like, I don't know what's up with these chicks and their sisters. Like, I guess it's just attention seeking. But it was some dance she was doing with her sister. I was like, bruh, you know. she's out here. You know, she's out here having fun in the sun. You just got her thing stanging and everything. I'm like, okay. D-Mac says that New York still exists. I gotta know where. Because when I heard they gentrified Brooklyn, I was like, yeah, it's over. It's over. It's dead. It gotta be like the I don't know. I really wonder what anybody thinks of the Fat Joe apology. Like, I saw that shit and I was like, get the fuck out of here with this. Get out of here with this. I'm pretty sure there's still grimy somewhere in New York. Just poverty somewhere. But, you know, when I was in New York, it was nutty. It was crazy. And I was only there for like 16 hours. I was in New York for like 16 hours. I could smell New Jersey from Brooklyn. I was like, fuck this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's still some poverty out there somewhere, dog. But the parts of New York that I was in, I don't think that shit even exists no more, dog. I think that shit's over with. And I was like, damn. Cause that shit was crazy. It was before they built the new stadiums and everything in Brooklyn. Darren Gordon-Hill says, I keep getting recommended videos of this black guy whose white girlfriend's little sister's fawn over him. It's really weird. You was in New York for 5 days. I was in New York for 16 hours. And it wasn't too bad. I mean, I like New York. It was kind of fast. It was very fast. You know, I'm from Detroit. It's a little bit slower because most of the people here are country as hell. So it was a little bit slower living. New York is very fast. And that's one thing about that that shit can't change. New York is very get the fuck out the way, you know. New Jersey though, fuck New Jersey. Period. Yeah, fuck New Jersey. Yes. New Jersey sucks. There's nothing good about New Jersey. There's nothing good about New Jersey. It's just in the shadow of New York, man. I don't know, man. I need to go back out there, though. I need to go back out there. Shawn Michaels is getting W after W with these hot women getting signed to NXT. Well, it's not doing him any good if he keeps fucking pushing fucking zombie face. What the fuck is her name? The old chick. The old young girl. You keep all the hot chicks in the warehouse. Let the hot chicks out of the warehouse. Get fucking Wendy Chu off TV. Or, I'm not saying Wendy Chu ain't cute, but, cute ain't hot. That's two different things. Wendy Chu is cute. She's like a teddy bear or something like that. We talking about, Valerie Loretta is like, she's gonna melt somebody, I've seen some of her little movements in the ring too. She's actually not bad. But it was Zoe Stark, that's her name. She put on a black jacket so she knows she's a heel. It's nonsense, bro. It's just nonsense. I've never been to Boston. I need to go out to Boston. Of all the places that I've been to, been around this little country of ours, I need to go outside of the country, outside of Windsor. I liked Memphis. I thought Memphis was very nice. The chicks, candy yams all over the place. I'm talking just country and sweet as pie. But New York, I don't know, man. New York was fun to be. It was fun to be there. I don't know if I would want to live there, but it was fun to be there. It was nice to see some of the places I had only heard people rap about. That was fun. Steven Smith says, what's your opinion on White Boy Rick and Maserati Rick and all those people back when Detroit was popping? I'm surprised most of them. The White Boy Rick thing, I've never really got it. I watched the movie. It was dumb. I just thought the movie was dumb. I've always heard the stories and the YBI. I've read books on them, and I read books on BMF. I have a book on BMF actually. I have the book on BMF actually. 90% of them niggas are snitches, but it is what it is. But I think the whole Detroit thing got caught up at the BMF because that's where them niggas were from. It was mostly an Atlanta operation. You learn that if you read the book. Yeah, the Flannery brothers were from Detroit originally, but it was mostly once they moved to Atlanta, that's kind of when the shit jumped off. So they kind of had some homeboys here, but it was mostly an Atlanta thing. Now, White Boy Rick and all them, I don't know. I don't know that much about them. Okay. Now, Dax Harwood. He has quite a few nice... I don't know why I have this picture of Nikita Lyons up on my screen. I do not have time for that distraction right now. Get behind me, Satan. Okay. Dax Harwood said that he was upset that Colt Cabana made fun of his accent. This is dumb. Do I have a book on the Supreme Team in New York? No, but I watched plenty of documentaries on the Supreme Team already. And the Supreme Team became a big deal because of 50 Cent and all that shit, right? So they was pumping out tons of fucking documentaries on, especially when Supreme got arrested. It was just pumping out shit on them. So I never got a book. I did get matter of fact, I got a couple of true crime books here. I got a book on it's crazy. I literally just built this bookshelf and I don't have any books on it. I spent all my fucking day Tuesday building a bookshelf with no books on it now. But fuck. American Gangster. I bought the book before the movie came out. And I read the book, and then I found out the book is probably full of shit. Because most of it sounds... The Frank Lucas book. It's a memoir. I read the book. It comes across like the Monster Cody book, where you could tell, like, he's exaggerating. You know, some of this shit is exaggerated for entertainment purposes. You know, but it was still a good book. You know, very good read. I'm gonna go and start getting some more true crime books. I might have to bust some of those down on here one day. I don't see, that's when good journalism matters, because they can cut through a lot of the bullshit. You know, like a lot of the Frank Lucas stuff, like him and Bumpy Johnson and all that shit. And a lot of that's mythology. You know, a lot of it is mythology. But just like, you know, I'll never forget when I read this. I read that Jesse Jackson once told a story that Martin Luther King died in his arms and he had his blood all over his hands and everything, right? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, Jesse Jackson told people that he was cradling... He was cradling Martin Luther King when he was dying. Like, he was inheriting the blood of Martin Luther King. Like, that shit's sick. And then you read in Frank Lucas's book, and he's basically saying the same fucking thing about Bumpy Johnson. That, oh, Bumpy Johnson died in my arms. Like, come on. What's the fucking likelihood, really? You were his driver. And that's what a lot of people was basically kind of like, you know, he was his driver. And he had some hookups, but he was never like his direct mentee or anything like that. Like, he may have picked up some things while he was living with them, while you know driving around with him or something like that. But all these little sayings and quotations and shit that he comes up with. And now we're learning that Napoleon Hill, he also came up with a lot of bullshit too. When he used to claim that Andrew Carnegie was his mentor, and him and Andrew Carnegie never actually met. So it's like, people do shit like that, and I don't understand it. That's stupid, you know, because people can check that shit, you know? Like, people can look at this stuff. There was people there when Martin Luther King got shot, okay? They know you weren't there, brother, okay? The Supreme Team, the birth of the crack and hip-hop, Prince's reign of terror, and the Supreme 50 Cent beef exposed. All right, I'm gonna end up getting that. I'm gonna pop over on Amazon and get it. I like these, especially since they got the little rap connection to it. I like that, even though I think I know way too much about Supreme and all the bullshit they had going on. Fat Cat and all them niggas. Bradley Gamble says, I missed the Christmas live chat, so I'm not sure if you shared your thoughts, but what do you think of Quincy Elliott burner account stuff? All right, it's been more of that since I did the live stream. There's been more has come out. So apparently it wasn't that he was being transphobic. That wasn't the real issue. The real issue is that apparently he was using burner accounts to attack people who also worked with him. So basically he was using burner accounts to shit talk people in the locker room. It's crazy. That's crazy. That's like really crazy shit. He definitely should get canned for that. Because who's going to want to work with him now? You know? I don't see how you can do that. Like, they got screenshots of him shitting on people, talking about people's dicks and stuff like that. Like, come on, man. They need to beat his ass. I mean, he's big and everything, but they need to beat his ass. I don't know. Like, Cameron Grimes needs to just go ahead and fire off on that nigga, man. I'm just saying. You know, he said some pretty foul shit about Cameron Grimes, dog. I didn't screenshot none of it, but he said some foul shit about Cameron Grimes. He needs to get his ass beat. He's a weird motherfucker, dog, and I don't like that shit. That Two-Face stuff, don't play that. I don't like that one. Yeah, Cameron Grimes needs to go ahead and smack that man for talking about he got a small dick in the locker room, dog. That shit not good. That shit's not cool, man. Um, he he'll get cut for that. And the whole transphobia thing, I don't know about that. But using burner accounts to attack your locker room mates and stuff like that, come on, man. We can't let that one slide, dog. And he was in the fucking spaces, and Sean slid in the spaces. Like, oh, dad, ah. Sean already knows that you did. It's over. Then probably gonna blame that one on Matt Bloom too, because apparently people can't figure out this shit on their own. Darren Gordon-Hill says, "How would they prove otherwise?" Well, there was other people who knew Frank Lucas and Bumpy Johnson. Specifically, Bumpy Johnson's wife is one of the ones who's been doing most of the debunking of the Frank Lucas story. She did a lot. Well, before she died, she did a lot of the debunking of the Frank Lucas story. And there were people who were there when Martin Luther King got shot who knows that Jesse Jackson, he might have been in the area, but I'm kneeling in Martin Luther King's blood and all that. Come on, that's exaggeration. Everybody already knows that shit, man. That's why I don't understand how people just come out with these crazy fucking lies. Fucking cap, bro. Like, everybody knows it. Yeah, Santos Escobar got injured in that fucking stupid ass ladder match. Why would you have a ladder match in Madison Square Garden at a live show? Why would you do that? That's just mark booking, and you end up hurting somebody. I can't imagine creating a fake social media account to antagonize and clown my coworkers. I would never do such a thing. Nobody knows a channel exists outside of maybe one person that I work with. And I still don't use it to clown people. Like, it wouldn't do me any good because you don't know any of these motherfuckers people anyway. What I want to do is talk about how, John's trying to fuck the fat chick on the third floor. You don't know who that is. That's so weird to me. Like, they didn't have a Raw, but they had 2 fucking house shows that same day. And that has been running house shows since. Have Gunther wrestle in Madison Square Garden. Don't have a ladder match. It was his MSG debut. And they put him in a ladder match. It was dumb. Yeah, men in dresses they're not going to work. I don't know, man. Quincy Elliott needs to get his ass beat. And I'm pretty sure Cameron Grimes should put hands on him. Look, there's got to be ways to get a hold of the fucking guy if you really want to get a hold of him, Invite him to the Waffle House and start a fight, and then just be like, just tag him 3 or 4 times and just call it a day. Say, fuck it, I'm going off to SmackDown or something like that, Get away from that shit. But you can't be going around telling people I got a small dick in public and, people believe it and all that kind of stuff, man. You can't have that, But maybe, maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he's like, oh, you don't tell people I'm broke. Because I can tell you this. The only man who really gets no play is the man who got no money. If you got a small dick but some money, she'll figure it out. She'll figure out how to make the little dick work for her. You can have a fucking Eckrich sausage in your goddamn pants. You ain't got no money, she don't give a fuck. And I can tell you that right now. That shit's fucked up. Darren Miles actually spent time watching the Best Man series on television. Why? I watched that movie once. The first movie, I watched it like once. And I'd never seen any of the sequels. I would never watch that shit. I hate it. I hated the movie. I hated it so much. It was so bad. They were there. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They were there. Eric Mack, if Gunther was in AEW, he had a barbed wire slapping match by now. Well, I don't. What would he be doing in AEW? Probably got his hair shaved by Samoa Joe or something like that. He have a fucking Jungle Boy give him a wedgie and kick him down the flight of stairs or some horse shit like that. Just worse shit. Uh, oh, he was watching his grandma's house. Well, grandma, aunt. That's how I seen most of the Tyler Perry plays. Either watching with some girl or watching them with my mama or something like that. Otherwise, I wouldn't even never seen them shits. Those Tyler Perry dudes and drag shits. I don't watch none of that stuff. I tried, man. I can't even force myself to like shit that women like. I can't even do it. Um, but where was I going with this? Oh yeah, we was talking about Quincy Elliott. So they haven't made a decision to cut him yet. Uh, Sean's gonna be busy for the next couple of weeks. Sean's gonna be busy for the next couple of weeks. So, he's gonna be trying not to fuck up Dragon Lee's career and not get roasted online for it. He posted a picture of himself with Nikita Lyons. He absolutely got roasted for that because he was he was in classic Shawn Michaels mode where one eye was going one way and the other eye was going the other way, and it wasn't quite working out for him. And people was kind of like, Sean, damn, where you looking? Oh, but back to this. I'm getting scatterbrained. Dax Harwood. Upset that Colt Cabana made fun of his accent. This is stupid, all right? Why did he even mention this? So, he says this. I don't know Colt very well. The very first day we were in the company, I could be wrong, I felt Colt didn't like us. There are some people who didn't like us. I remember that he made fun of my accent the very first day, and I wasn't very happy with that. I take offense to that, and maybe I shouldn't. But if people knew my backstory and how hard I worked to get to the education that I got, I was in college, my mom and dad both lost their jobs within a month of each other. I had nobody to help me with rent or books or food or anything. I had to work 3 jobs plus wrestling on the weekends just so I could pay for college, and I paid for my own college. I got a degree in University of North Carolina, Wilmington. Jesus. A bachelor's in English and a bachelor's in business communications. It was all through my efforts. If people saw the sleepless nights that I had, the nights that I cried because I was worried that I wouldn't get this, or the nights that I had negative dollars in my bank account because I was paying for books and putting things on credit cards, I think maybe they could understand it then. But for them to make fun of my accent because of the connotation is, you're a southerner, you're stupid, that bothers me. Maybe I shouldn't let it bother me. That was the very first run-in I had with Colt. Other than that, I never really had a conversation with him, never talked to him, nothing like that. So, talking about always getting trolled. Dax Harwood is a grown man, and this nigga is perpetually crying. He's perpetually aggrieved about something. Oh, he picked on me about my accent. Road Dogg was picking on me. Shawn Michaels picked on me. It's like, dude, are you a pro wrestler or are you fucking Charlie Brown? Like, did these dudes just walk around smacking you in the back of the head all the time? Like, what the fuck, man? Every time Dax fucking talks, he's the guy getting kicked in the butt. He's the guy who gets, kick me put on the back of his jacket or something like that. Like, this guy is ridiculous, bro. I can't believe this. I can't believe this fucking guy, man. He got upset because Colt Cabana made fun of his accent. And this bothered him. Ridiculous, man. These dudes be so sensitive about the weirdest things, man. He had a whole thing about Road Dogg. I'm about to go find that one. He had a whole thing about Road Dogg too. I'm about to go find that. Oh God, it was so dumb. It was some stupid thing. It's ridiculous, bro. Oh, so here it is. Road Dogg apparently had a response. Road Dogg had a response to this. It's a 16-minute response. Okay, so I'm going to play what Dax Harwood had to say. Then we're gonna play Road Dogg's response. I'm not playing 16 minutes of it. I just want to get the general idea. So we're gonna play a little bit of Dax Harwood on Road Dogg.
So I think from the day Road Dogg met me, he didn't like me. We had a match that you may have heard of against American Alpha at Dallas, NXT Dallas.
I was there, dude. It was awesome.
Well, thank you. That's one of my favorites of all time. I had in my mind what that match was. I had the story I wanted to tell. I knew the false finishes I wanted. I knew the exact, how I wanted the front half to go.
Wait a minute. Bradley Gamble says, Joe Lanza from Voices of Wrestling literally revealed that Dax feed him and other dirt sheet guys info to get year-end awards, and then likes to pretend that he is old school. Oh me, oh my, I. What's wrong with this guy, man? Yeah, CM Punk's boys too, bashing Colt Cabana. Funny how that works out. Look, I don't like Colt Cabana. I don't give a fuck about Colt Cabana, but it's just suspicious. He made fun of my accent. He made fun of my Ned Flanders mustache. I don't appreciate that.
I knew exactly what was going to work, and he offered an idea one night when we were. It was the night before Dallas, and we were talking with Jordan and Gable. And I was explaining to them the story that I wanted to tell. And he offered an idea, and I didn't shoot it down. I just didn't think it fit into the story that I wanted to tell. And he went to an unnamed source who is a very big part of the WWE office, and he proceeded to bury me and tell me that I thought I knew everything, or not tell me, tell that person that I thought I knew everything and I would never try to learn anything and all this stuff. And so, I had my own reservations about him. And then come later that year, I want to say it was, right?
It doesn't matter who it is. They managed to not like Dax Harwood for some reason. It's just like the fifth or sixth person that we found magically. Oh, I barely knew the guy, but he doesn't like me. Fucking Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, Colt Cabana. It's numerous people just don't know Dax and make fun of him. They just push him down a flight of stairs, and they take his lunch money and knock his milk out of his hands. General bully shit. Give him, it's ridiculous. Like, what if it's? Come on, what the fuck?
Right around December, people thought there was some sort of gimmick gauntlet tag team match on SmackDown, and for some reason the fans thought the Revival was going to make their debut there, and the fans were tweeting and freaking out over it, and the match was over, and we were heels, and so I went on Twitter and said, you fans thought that we were going to be in we were going to debut on the main roster in a stupid gimmick gauntlet match. You've lost your mind, or something like that. And at the time, Road Dogg was booking, and he took offense to that because I said stupid gimmick, and he proceeded to write on Twitter that if I kept it up, he would make sure that I would never make it to the main roster. Which, if I never make it to the main roster, that cuts into my money, which goes into the money that I make for my family, which I can provide for my daughter who goes to college, or I can make sure my wife has food on the table. And that's what bothered me. And then right after he put that tweet out, I got a call from Mark Carano, or a text from Mark Carano, and it led to a call from Mark to make sure they were covering their tracks, because Road Dogg basically said he was going to make sure that I would never have any advancement in the company. And legally, they're not allowed to do that because they're in.
Come on, man. Fuck. It's fucking Road Dogg, man. Just go to Vince. What the fuck? Just go to Vince. It's fucking Road Dogg, man. He's what? Number 10 on this list of motherfuckers. It's not like you pissed off Michael Hayes. It's not like it. It's not like it's Kevin Dunn. I don't know, man. Yeah, Road Dogg had some stroke for a little while. Road Dogg was one of the writers for SmackDown for a short amount of time before he got shit canned. But come on. It's fucking Road Dogg. Just go to Vince. All right? Shit.
Aaron Powers a position in the office, and for him to say, "I'm going to make sure that you're not going to move up and you can't advance your money," that legally he shouldn't be able to do that. So they were trying to cover their tracks. And then fast forward, and I'm sure we'll talk about this one day. Raw 25, I had to go in there and make sure that all of Sean and his friends looked like $1 million. And we got to the back, and Road Dogg passed right by me. He didn't say thank you after we bumped around for him. The only person to say thank you was Sean Waltman, but we'll get to that. As the person, listen, as a wrestler, I respect everything he's done for the business, and I respect the path that he's paved for us. As a person, I don't know how much respect I have for him.
Oh my word! Oh, what is he gonna do without Dax Harwood's fucking respect? This guy's daddy is Bullet Bob Armstrong. He doesn't give a fuck about Dax Harwood. But we're gonna listen to what Road Dogg has to say, because I don't know what Road Dogg's gonna say. At least I had an idea of what Dax Harwood's going to say. I didn't know Road Dogg even bothered to respond to this. And maybe this is the question I was asked about earlier about wrestling podcasters shooting at each other. You know, I thought it was about Jared and Vince Russo being bitchy about one another. No, it's about this shit. You know, these dudes are fucking weird, man. Why you let such little things get under your skin? I don't get it. You're supposed to be thick-skinned, man. You're a wrestler. People yell shit at you all day. It's ridiculous.
It's your boy Cassio and the Road Dogg.
Who the fuck is this guy?
YouTube exclusive version of... Oh, you didn't know? Well, dog, if you didn't know, you are catching some heat. Not the podcast heat like we're a part of, but from our man, Dax Harwood. He has said some things. He started his own...
What the fuck?
So who's
who is these mutants?
I did, yes.
No. It is your name. It's my show, and it's your name. But look, I did.
Who are these fucking mutants?
You're a friend of mine, and that you're on my show, but I want to hear your take on it before I give you mine.
Absolutely. So, so basically, Dax talked.
No, I don't give a fuck.
All the stuff about.
He offered an idea the night before Dallas. We were talking with Gable. I was explaining them the story that I wanted to tell. And he
Conrad's best friend.
I didn't shoot it down.
God
damn.
It's fucking hillbilly podcasters, man. What the fuck?
Is that a correct statement first?
Come on, man. This shit garbage, B.
So that's, so I didn't, it's not that I didn't like him the day I met him. It's that he rubbed me the wrong way. And I don't know that that was something he did or something that is on me. And if it's on me, I'm in a place in my life where I'm trying to correct those, character defects. So if that's on me, I'll accept that. But he rubbed me the wrong way from day one. And I think, you didn't have a preconceived notion, though. No, not at all. Okay. Not at all. You're saying this was after interacting with him. Yes, yeah, this is after our first interaction where what I saw and what I heard was exactly what I just saw and heard there. I was telling Gable. I was telling Jason Jordan. I was telling everybody what to do. And Road Dogg came over and had an idea, and I brushed him off and acted like I knew better. That's what happened. I mean, and he...
Oh, okay. I get Road Dogg's point. I don't want to hear no more for this fucking mutant, but okay. Yes, Road Dogg is calling him a mark. He is doing that very right now. But I can see it. If one guy is planning every fucking thing in a tag team match where there's 4 fucking guys in it, I get how that might be a little annoying. But it's for the guys who are in the match to be annoyed. I don't know. Let's finish off and see what he had to say.
He just repeated it. So if I was salty that day and that rubbed me the wrong way and I went over and said something negative about him, I could see that happening 100%. I can see that happening, like with me and with him and with 100 other people the same way. Somebody rubs you the wrong way, you go tell your friends, right? So let's continue on with what he said. Yep, he said, Dogg went to an unnamed source who was a very big part of the WWE office, and he proceeded to bury me and told that person that I thought I knew everything and I would never try to learn anything
and all this stuff. And so, I had my own reservations about him. Like you mentioned.
About him, that's an important prepositional phrase there, or excuse me, a pronoun. Who's he talking about? Me? Like he had his own...
Yes.
Wait a minute now. Jason Jordan was very good. Let's get this correct. Jason Jordan was very good. He can have good matches with anybody. Dax is special, though. Dax is very good. He's a bit of a pussy, and he's probably in the right place working in AEW, but it's what it is, man. What the fuck? I don't know. Dax is kind of soft, man. I don't know. He's coming across kind of soft, and the more he talks, the softer, the more charming he comes across, and I don't necessarily like it. You know, I like FTR as a tag team. I think they're very good. Just they come across as very soft, you know. Well, Dax comes across soft. Cash has to be soft if he's just letting Dax do all the fucking talking, and he's not like, why don't you go punch Road Dogg in the mouth and chewing on a cigar or something like that? I don't know, man. Cash got to do something to save the image of FTR because it's not looking very good right now.
Yes. So after you went to an unnamed source that's a very big part of the WWE office, you buried him to that person. You told that person you thought that Dax knew everything and that Dax would never try to learn anything and stuff. And so Dax now has reservations about you.
Look, I understand you having reservations about me, but in our short, brief first time, our interaction, you showed me that you knew better not only than me, but all your teammates and all your opponents and the referee and everybody. You knew it all, and nobody could tell you anything. So that was my first take. That's what I relayed to somebody.
Who was the somebody?
Make a lasagna, leave the dishes for 24 hours, he's finished quantum. If it doesn't remove the journal...
Is Road Dogg going to say who the somebody was, or is that going to be left? You know, these dudes have a problem. They have a problem.
Let's continue.
He goes on to say, then come a year later, I wanted to say it was right around December, there was some sort of gimmick gauntlet tag team match on SmackDown, and for some reason the fans thought the Revival was going to make their debut there. The fans were tweeting and freaking out over it. When the match was over, and, we were heels, him talking about FTR,
yeah.
Dax says, I went on Twitter and said, you fans thought we were going to debut on the main roster in a stupid gimmick gauntlet match. You've lost your mind, or something like that. At the time, Road Dogg was booking, and he took offense to that because I said, stupid gimmick. He proceeded right on Twitter that if I kept up, he would make sure that I'll never make it to the main roster, which if I never make it to the main roster, that cuts into my money, which goes into the money that I make for my family, which I can provide for my daughter who can go to college, or I can make sure my wife has food, and that's what bothered me. First of all, do you remember this Twitter exchange with Dax?
I do. And look, this is one part where I think he got it right. I shouldn't be on Twitter responding to people like that.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Responding to Dax like that.
Oh my God, is that some kind of clarity? Or do we finally have a fucking wrestler who says, maybe I don't have to respond to people on social media? Fuck. Bright idea. Yeah, what a bright fucking idea, Road Dogg. Yeah, you don't go tweeting at motherfuckers, especially people who are, pardon? What's this? Mongo heads up, that Jim Cornette is suing people again, talking about his wife having sex with Big Show and giving Kevin Nash a blowjob. And of course, Stephen P. knew his lawyer is taking it up. Look, man. He's gonna sue some guys for saying that this sue Big Show for fucking your wife.
Be quite honest with you, but I am because he said something and I can say something back, I guess. It's not that I don't like you and I didn't like you from day one. You rubbed me the wrong way, dude. And first, first time's a charm, or whatever the old saying is. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, yeah. Then we had this Twitter thing. You were on. You're in developmental, wanting to come up to the main roster, and heel or no heel, I don't care if you were in character during this. You said, "Oh, this stupid thing." You're burying the product that you represent, but you don't represent it yet because you're not there yet. And so I could have never stopped you from making it to the. Thank you for thinking I have that much power, but I could never stop you from.
See, look at what I just said. I said just go to Vince. Road Dogg couldn't do shit anyway. It's fucking Road Dogg. Come on, man. I don't even work there. I never worked there, and I didn't even knew that. Well, look, I'm not entertaining anything about. For starters, Jim Cornette's wife looks like a mound of mashed potatoes. Why would anybody want to have sex with her? Beyond me. All right? She's gross. She looks like that clay snowman from that Clay Fighter video game. She looks gross. Why the fuck would anybody want to fuck her? That's disgusting. Stop that. And I don't want to think about that human disaster having sex with the Big Show. I don't want to consider that. I have to go to sleep after this. I don't want to have nightmares. I don't want to have to, take a... Just don't do that to me, man. She's gross. And Kenny Bolin, of course, this is stupid. I'm serious.
You for making it to the main roster. You made it to the main roster. You just didn't make it on the main roster. So I don't know what else we need to say. You and I just disagree. And I think, to be quite honest, Dax, if we sat down and had dinner, we would agree on way more than we disagree on. We started off on the wrong foot, and if half of that's on me, I'll accept that half. But if half of it's on you, are you willing to accept yours?
Let me get some of these more.
Wait a minute now. Road Dogg is on his Christian tip. He's like, well, I've been wrong too. I could possibly have been wrong, and I give him credit for that, because Road Dogg is just like Sean, where every time somebody feels the need to throw up that he was a dickhead at one point in his face, he apologizes for it. Good Christian stuff, but he also needs to just be like, fuck you, you deserved it. And that's he should, this should have been it. He should have just like, fuck Dax, he deserved it. He's an asshole. This is why, he giving good reasons why, him and Dax wasn't getting along. But I would have liked a little bit more force. He's being very Christian about it. Which, Dax is still not friendly with the clique. He's not friendly with those guys. Of course he's not. These are Bret Hart fans, and Road Dogg went after Bret Hart. So, there we go. See how it becomes a one big circle? FTR or Shawn Michaels guys. They're Bret Hart fans. It's a whole thing.
He has two more quick paragraphs. I want to get the facts out and get your side of it.
Okay.
And if you see it the same way he did.
Yep.
Right after he put that tweet out, I got a call. This is Dax. I got a call from Mark Carano, or a text from Mark Carano, and it led to a call from both of those guys to make sure.
I wanted you to stop there. Who's both of those guys?
I don't know.
I don't know either. And I understand one of them's Mark Carano. I don't know if he's saying the other one is me.
He said
or not.
It led to a call from both of those guys. Did you call him after that Twitter exchange?
I don't remember doing that, but
okay.
I have a horrible memory.
He says to make sure they were covering their tracks, because Road Dogg basically said he was going to make sure that I would never have any advancement in the company. Legally, they're not allowed to do that because they're in a power and position in the office. And for him to say, I'm going to make sure you're not going to move up and you can't advance your money, legally he shouldn't be able to do that, so they were trying to cover their tracks. You don't remember the phone call. Do you remember anybody ever calling you saying, hey, bud, you messed up on Twitter, we need to fix the fire?
I think they called him and said he messed up on Twitter. And I feel like that's the truth. Like you're burying the product under which you work. You know what I mean? You're burying where you're trying to get to on Twitter for all to see, whether you're a heel or not. That's just bad business. And again, that's just my opinion.
He said,
if I remember correctly, there was somebody else that this happened to. Wasn't it Leo Rush? It was somebody who did the whole you can't cut it, you can't cut it after somebody got fired. They was like, you can't cut it into big time or something like that. And then Bray Wyatt had to tweet at them like, you might want to take that down. I think it was Leo Rush, wasn't it? They was tweeting some wild shit from like NXT or whatever. I don't know. Guys is getting too loose with this Twitter stuff, man. But right now, sitting here listening to this, man, Dax Harwood, he's not sounding very good. Road Dogg is actually explaining this shit pretty simple. Dax is being a dickhead. It ain't he was Charlie Brown. It's that he was feeling himself. He was, the fans like the revival. He starts to feel it. Like, we're not going to be part of this stupid thing. He's like, well, why wouldn't you want to be a part of this stupid thing? If it's important, it's on television, they're investing time and shit into it. Yeah, I get it. You know what happened. Goddamn X-Pac was the only one who tried to give him some mustard, but it squirted out and got all over his shirt. Poor Dax. God damn. He's going to have mustard all over his shirt. And if Vince sees that mustard on his shirt, then he won't be able to go onto television. And if he can't go on TV, then his daughter is going to have to eat string beans out of a can. Don't you know that's how this works? Fuck, god damn. Yeah, it was Leo Rush talking to Emma. Yeah, that was stupid. It was real stupid.
He says, final deal here. He says, then fast forward, and I'm sure we'll talk about this one day. He's talking about it on his new podcast.
Yep.
Raw 25, I had to go in there and make sure that all of
more.
Sean and his friends look like $1 million. We got to the back, and Road Dogg passed right by me. He didn't say thank you after we bumped around for him. The only person that said thank you was Sean Waltman. So as a wrestler, I respect everything he's done for the business, and I respect the path he's paved for us. As a person, I don't know how much respect I have for him.
Well, I understand. I hear you, Dax. I don't know what we're supposed to say here or where we're to go. Like, we started off on the wrong foot and we ain't got on the right one yet. I'm willing to put the past behind me for sure. But as far as the Raw 25 thing goes, like, I'm sorry, I really am too that I didn't thank you, because I don't feel like that's like me. But I also at the same time thought, like, well, do you need that? Like, you know what you did. You went out there and you did what you were supposed to do, and you did it really well. I didn't know I needed to thank you and say how great you were in order to get your respect as a human being. But
This is excellent. Oh, this is excellent. Hey. What the fuck? Hey. Holy shit. Hey, seriously, bro. What the fuck is wrong with Curly, man? Like, what's wrong with this guy? Like, he has this sort of pitfall-like mentality where he's always 2 seconds away from his daughter being in a goddamn, in the street, like some kind of vagrant child or something like that. It's like anything could possibly go wrong, and next thing you know, my daughter is gonna have to have to sell her teeth on the black market or something like that. Says, I hear you. That was great. I'm listening. That was so condescending, and he knows it. Fuck. That shit was great. These dudes are insane, bro. Oh, there's still 3 more minutes of this shit.
I do apologize for not thanking you, and I thank you now publicly for doing that for us. But don't act like you're above that. Because you were in the ring with a bunch of Hall of Famers, man. And I know you don't like me, but I was in the ring, and I'm a Hall of Famer, and I was one of those guys. And I'm sorry if that offends you, or if I don't respect the mat enough for you. But I got a different idea about pro wrestling than you do. And mine's the one that makes a bunch of money, and yours the one that pleases all the boys. And so, well, you know.
Oh, that was a good one. Oh, that was a good one. Yeah, this is coming across like TNA Road Dogg right here, man. When he was on drugs, they about to get Road Dogg back in his bag. You know, back on the baggie. You know what I'm saying? They don't want that. They don't want my man get back on the baggie. You know what I'm saying? Jeez. He bringing the shoot energy back. See, look, Dax did 1 fucking podcast. This shit gonna be weekly, man. He gonna be getting Charlie Brown weekly now. He's gonna come out and say something stupid about Eddie Kingston and start getting sunned online. This is excellent. This is great content. I was not looking forward to this, but this is excellent.
You know, I don't know, hoop in one hand, wish in the other, but we can get past this. We just can't talk about politics or wrestling with each other, I don't think. Actually, our politics probably align too. But I just, you know what I mean? Like, if there's so many similarities, we're going to let this little thing hold us back from, I don't know. I'd love to be on your podcast. I'd love to have you on my podcast.
My man said we can get past this. We can work on this, all right? You know, hold my hand. I'll guide you away from this danger. Come on my podcast. Oh. Dax is gonna go on. He's gonna go on the podcast crying about this shit. Road Dogg talked about me on his podcast. If my podcast fails, how will my daughter learn how to read? Like, what the fuck? It's called FTR. As far as I know, I think that's what his podcast is called. I think it's called FTR.
I think this is an invitation to heal the world. To
oh,
start
come on!
With the man in the mirror. And I'm damn sure willing to look at me. Are you willing to look at you?
No.
So that's, you know, let's move forward, and let's get past the gripes of yesterday and make this better and do better as people. If I've done something to offend you, like I said earlier, if some of this is mine to own, I own my half. Do you own yours?
There you go. You heard it from the man himself. That's what we're about. We're getting the opinions. We're reacting live here.
What the fuck? Good Lord. This is funny as shit. I can tell you this. These dudes are full-grown adults. And this is how they act on radio. Why? It's over. I really don't want to hear no more from Dax. I'm not going to hold you up. I really don't care about Dax anymore. You know, after he Charlie Browned himself again, man, I don't get it. Fuck this guy, you know. So, It is what it is, man. I'm kind of done with Dax, you know. They called my man FTR Bald, which is fucking hilarious. They don't know my man's name. His name sucks. It's Dax Harwood. That name sucks. Oh man, that was great. I'm sweating now. I am sweating now. That was excellent. You like that North Carolina accent? Oh, poor baby. He got made fun of. You should tweet at Dax Harwood that you like his accent. You'll probably get in his fave 5. Now I see why, they had so many problems in WWE. I can see it. It's all fucking clear now. All Dax Harwood had to do was one podcast, and I see why the motherfuckers weren't liked. Oh yeah, they did that shoot interview with Renee Paquette too. I see why. He's always a victim. God, what next? Dax Harwood, I came into the locker room. Those guys, they gave me a wedgie and hung me from the goddamn locker. I'm like, come on. Weird dudes, man. These dudes is weird. Fear the ridicule. Dudes is fucking retarded, man. They're not coming across like tough guys, man. They just coming across like poor Cash Wheeler. Poor Cash Wheeler. He ain't got nothing to do with none of this shit, right? He ain't got nothing to do with none of this stuff. But he is absolutely being made a fool of, because of this stuff. He's been made a fool of. And, I find humor in it. I found humor in it. It was fucking hilarious to me, dog. I'm not even gonna hold you up. I don't know. It's great. I don't know. I don't understand why Dax Harwood cares so much about Raw 25 when the shit was like 5 years ago. It was a long time ago. Oh my! Naomi fucked herself out of a job. Cash Wheeler, they ain't looking good for him, but he ain't as dicked as Naomi. Naomi is almost completely dicked. Now, she's got enough goodwill. Let's put it like that. That Triple H will bring her back. She's not as fucked as Cash. Cash is pretty fucked. Okay, he's pretty fucked. Because everywhere Dax steps, Cash is drugged along with him. It's literally, they're handcuffed together. They're useless without each other. And I like, Dax as a wrestler, but Cash has got to be sitting on his couch smoking a cigarette like, oh my God, this motherfucker is still talking. Like, dude, I'll be sending him a text like, dude, do not talk anymore, please. You're not making this good. Tell some fun stories about how we put this match together and all this kind of shit. Don't go out there crying about how CM Punk bought everybody Starbucks or some shit, man. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that. You gonna come across like we marks for the guy. Too late. You're already. I don't know why they decided that Dax, the perpetual victim of FTR, is the voice of the group. Why is this? Why doesn't Cash ever have any sad stories to tell about how his daughter is going to be homeless or something like that? You know, why he the one getting made fun of for his hillbilly accent? I don't know. Jeez. This is ridiculous. Okay. I'm just gonna have to find something else to talk about because keep thinking about Charlie Brown Dax. It's really getting on my nerves, man. This is really something else. What am I looking at here? Oh, okay. We talked about Miro already. Okay. Here's something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did kiss. Okay, so Sports Illustrated put out their best top 10 wrestlers of 2022. Let's go from the bottom, okay? This ought to be fun. Number 10, Masha Slamovich. Masha Slamovich. Okay. Number 9, Cash Wheeler. Number 8, Dax Harwood. Number 7, El Hijo del Vikingo. Number 6, Jamie Hayter. Number 5, Will Ospreay. Number 4, Roman Reigns. Number 3, Bianca Belair. Number 2, Jon Moxley. And number 1, Seth freaking Rollins. I don't know what they based this thing on. Okay, so Masha being on this list, nutty. I know that Masha Slamovich had a pretty good year in Impact. Her being on this list at all is nutty. She won a bunch of matches over jobbers. Nobody cares. None of that shit matters. And plus, it's Impact. Nobody gives a shit. All right? I hate to break it to you like that. Impact will never have Wrestler of the Year. They need to first have a year. It feels like Impact has not even been on TV. Second, having Cash Wheeler as a solo act on this list is maniacal. All right? Dax at least wrestled some singles matches. Cash even being on this thing is maniacal. Putting FTR on here as a tag team is more appropriate. All right? Masha has a cool name. I bet that's it. Jamie Hayter. She had a good year. I'm not sure if I would have put her on this list over Sami Zayn or some of the other people that are not on this list. Will Ospreay being on here, whatever. You know, just literally what the fuck ever. Roman Reigns being number 4, that's cancer. All right? Roman Reigns being number 4 is absolute cancer. That's just... Yeah, no, Jade Cargill's not on there. She's not in the top 10. But Masha Slamovich is. And fucking Harry FTR is on here. And Jamie Hayter is on here. And Roman Reigns is number 4. That's nuts. Okay? This is chaos for you to put Roman Reigns at number 4. I don't even understand. How do you even come to that conclusion? Bianca Belair disappeared since SummerSlam. I mean, I love her to death. Number 1 woman in the business, easy. Disappeared since SummerSlam. That's Triple H, his terrible booking. A lot of people have gone with Jon Moxley as being Wrestler of the Year. A lot of people. That's because he's had a lot of matches. But no, him being number 2 is still too high. Seth Rollins being number 1. Having won almost no big match this year, except winning the U.S. title. He was U.S. champion for like 2 weeks and then dropped the belt. I understand why you would pick Seth Rollins. But no, Roman Reigns is clearly Wrestler of the Year. To debate that is insane. All right? To even if you want to say he wasn't active enough, even if you want to use that old canard, you still cannot put Seth Rollins on this list as number one. You still cannot put Jon Moxley number one. Jon Moxley let fucking Sammy Guevara rip an earring out of his ear for a fucking match on Rampage. He's an idiot. Alright? He's a fucking idiot. Clearly, he's got no mind for the business. If you want to add into his indie stuff, you know, all the stuff he's been doing for GCW and everything, okay. Still too high. Alright? Top 5, maybe. For the year, yes, I'll give him that. I also put Rollins probably top 5, right outside of the top 5 for the year. Lashley had a pretty good year. He's not on this list. Cody had a great fucking year. But he's been gone for most of the year. He's been injured. Seth Rollins lost more matches than pretty much anybody. And he's number 1. Oh, you know what? I am so glad G Coalition reminded me of that, because I forgot all about that makeout session. All that stuff, this is not fun. That's garbage right there. You are absolutely correct. That Effie Jon Moxley thing did happen this year. It did happen this year. It happened in 2022. That shit was gross. He should be disqualified from most anything involving Wrestler of the Year, Human Being of the Year, Man of the Year, Toaster of the Year, whatever you want to call it. He shouldn't be able to win anything. He let a man jack off in the ring while he was in the ring. He let a man kiss him in the mouth. These dudes took wrestling to new depths. I'm talking, they sunk the fucking Titanic. They're trash, B. They're trash individuals, bruh. And I have no sympathy for them and no need for them. I'm sorry. Becky Lynch got injured twice this year, so I can understand why she wouldn't be on the list. Kevin Owens, well, he did wrestle Stone Cold Steve Austin, but Kevin Owens also spent a bulk of the year arguing about a guy being his own brother. You know, he's been arguing with a guy about being his own brother, so I don't know. It's kind of weird, but it's I'm about to try to find some more Wrestler of the Year votings. It's not the worst. It's not, you know, the most stupid thing, but it's not great. The only thing that would have made it worse if they'd had stupid Japanese guys on here. So Bleacher Report has WWE 2022 awards for Best Match, Wrestler, Tag Team, Pay-Per-View, Storyline, Promo, and Moment. Let's go through this. Let's see. Best Moment, Stone Cold Steve Austin making in-ring return to WrestleMania. Okay. Personally, I would have... Okay, it's fair. Breakout Star of the Year, Logan Paul. Okay, this seems kind of like a slam dunk for me. I would have gone with Logan Paul too, even though I probably would have gone with Braun Breaker as Rookie of the Year. But I think Braun Breaker was last year. Best Return, Cody Rhodes. Wasn't he pretty much the only return? One of the few returns. Best Promo, Bray Wyatt addresses the audience. Okay. Best Storyline, Sami Zayn joins the Bloodline, the honorary Oos. All right, fair enough. Rivalry of the Year, Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. Okay, fair. I like that one. That's good. Best pay-per-view, WrestleMania 38. Okay. This is only WWE, so they're not comparing it to AEW stuff, too. Best tag team is obviously the Usos, because who else? Best match, Gunther versus Sheamus, Clash at the Castle. I think this is my match of the year, too. Even across all wrestling. And I've watched a lot of fucking wrestling over the 2022. Vikingo and Laredo Kid skyrocketed up there pretty quickly. I watched that match twice. I very, very, very watch matches twice within a short amount of time. I may watch it again much, much later. But Gunther and Sheamus, I watched that match the day after it happened. I watched it again. Laredo Kid versus Vikingo, I watched that match 2 days in a row. So both of those will probably be two of my favorite matches of the year. So, but this is, I also, the FTR Briscoes match. Best wrestler, Bianca Belair. Oh! Oh my God. Oh. Bleacher Report. This. No, wait a minute now. AJ3, Josh Alexander versus you didn't even get the guy's name. His name is Mike Bailey. You didn't even get the guy's name right. He's a dork though. I hate Mike Bailey. He sucks. Ugh. Speedball. He sucks. Alright, so ESPN. They got their list. Let's go through ESPN's list. Female Wrestler of the Year, Bianca Belair. She won by a vote of 89%, which is the right choice. Bianca is excellent. She is tremendous. She is definitely the Woman of the Year. Wrestler of the Year, Roman Reigns. 67%. Who are the other 33%? Who are they voting for? Stupid. Roman Reigns being Wrestler of the Year is 100% correct, however. Tag Team of the Year, the Usos, 50% of the vote. Rookie of the Year, Logan Paul, 39%. Okay. Breakthrough Wrestler of the Year, Ricky Starks. So somebody decided they were going to vote for Ricky Starks, and Ricky Starks' push is literally like a month old. So somebody decided he's going to slide in on 3rd and goal and kick Ricky Starks over the damn. Look, AEW's got to win something. So, and I'm not going to lie, this Ricky Starks kid is very good. Now I've known that for 3 years, so I'm not mad. Promo Artist of the Year. Oh, that sounds awful. Oh, promo artist. That sounds like shit. MJF won Promo Artist of the Year. He got caked by Ricky Starks, though. So, how you get split by Ricky Starks and you're the Promo Artist of the Year? Match of the Year, Sheamus versus Gunther, Clash at the Castle. Absolutely. Best pay-per-view event of the year, AEW New Japan Forbidden Door. Are these people kidding me? Are you literally saying Forbidden Door was better than WrestleMania? That's what this says. ESPN. Please. They need to... I cannot believe this. Mark Raimondi. He's the guy who wrote this up. It's had an awful build-up. Absolutely awful build-up. And the main event was a fucking fatal 4-way or some shit. Come on. And then one of these guys got knocked out in the middle of the match. And this is better than WrestleMania? Okay. If you say so, dog. Storyline of the year, Sami Zayn in the Bloodline. At least they can't kill themselves too much by going... Oh, this is retarded. Wrestling Inc. They're up next. I know this is about to be pure cancer. I know this is about to be cancer. Yeah, Forbidden Door was probably the most boring, stupid pay-per-view of the year. They had to change so much of the card, and then the guy got knocked out in the middle of the fucking match or something like that. Come on, bro. It's embarrassing. Non-wrestler of the year for Wrestling Inc. William Regal. Okay, fair enough. Let's see. Finisher of the year, Bianca Belair's KOD. I don't know. Why would you have a finisher of the year? Why even? Why even be bothered? Breakout star of the year, The Acclaimed. You know what? Good. This is a good one. I like The Acclaimed. The Acclaimed as breakout stars of the year. I like this. This is a good choice. The Acclaimed are pretty good. They did break out and it was very good. I don't know what Kanye said about ESPN, but Kanye is right about a lot of things. Tag team of the year, FTR. Okay. I like FTR. I don't like this bald one, but I don't mind FTR. I just spent like an hour cooking this bald Charlie Brown curly head motherfucker. But okay, FTR over the Usos. It's chaotic, but alright. Go for it. Whatever. They haven't even been featured on Dynamite, though. Yeah. Event of the year, WrestleMania 38, which is the absolute correct choice. You know, the one that featured Stone Cold Steve Austin in the fucking main event. Not, you know, a bunch of Japanese guys and a bunch of no-named Americans doing flippity-doo-dahs in front of 200 people. Who cares? TV show of the year, AEW Dynamite. Okay. That was basically just handing AEW something because Raw sucks. Raw is bad. SmackDown is very good, but Raw sucks. WWE wins promotion of the year. That's new. I'm surprised to see that. Promo of the year, CM Punk's works with fucking children. It's not even really a promo. This is a shoot. So I don't see why. Okay, let's go with it. All right. Let's go with it. CM Punk. Let's go with it. Who cares? Match of the year, Anarchy in the Arena, AEW Double or Nothing, three-way tie. Three-way tie. I'm sorry, three-way tie? What's the three-way tie? What does that mean? Did this match end in a tie? Is that what they're trying to say? Because I don't remember this match ending in a tie. I don't remember the Anarchy in the Arena match at all, period, anyway. So, I wouldn't expect that it would be match of the year because I don't fucking remember it. So, I don't know. Match of the year, FTR versus the Briscoes, Super Card of Honor. Oh, okay, so they got three people tied. Okay, yeah, you're right. I love this match. I do love FTR versus the Briscoes. I love this match. This match is very good. Anarchy in the Arena. Come the fuck on. No. This match, okay. Match of the year, Gunther versus Sheamus, Clash at the Castle. So this is the third match. Okay. Gunther and Sheamus, FTR, the Briscoes. Okay. FTR and the Briscoes, I think they said the buy rate was about 120,000 or something like that. That's chaotic. Forbidden Door saying that's better than WrestleMania is nuts. I mean, WrestleMania had people gagged for like 6 months. You know, And it wasn't until like the Vince shit really jumped off that things kind of went crazy. Storyline of the year, Sami Zayn and the Bloodline. Yeah, that's that one was easy. Everything that WWE has been doing with Dominic and Ray has been very good too, but it hasn't been going on for nearly as long, and it hasn't been week to week because they took Ray off of television. I mean, took him off of Raw, which was very smart because then they made the holiday stuff feel so much more interesting. So I'm guessing that Dominic is now going to pop up at the house again on New Year's. Mama, he's going to be standing outside. Mama! And he's going to get arrested again. or they going to turn the other cheek and Ray going to show up at his house on New Year's Day. Oh shit, my feet dirty. Okay, what else we got here? Storyline of the year, Sami Zayn in the Bloodline. Wrestler of the year, Jon Moxley. Wrestling Inc. picked Jon Moxley as wrestler of the year. Come on. Why? This is dumb. No. You tried. Trying to get that in there, that's not going to work out for me, dog. Okay. New York Post. Let's go to New York Post next. Mail. The New York Post. Wrestler of the year. Jon Moxley. New York Post Wrestler of the Year, Jon Moxley. You gotta be shitting me. You gotta be shitting me. Female Wrestler of the Year, Bianca Belair. That was easy. Tag Team of the Year, FTR. Match of the Year, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell. Now, I saw a lot of people say this is their favorite match of the year, too. Okay. I can see why you would say that. I still would go Gunther and Sheamus. That's me personally. It's the New York Post, not the New York Times. Storyline of the year, Sami Zayn, the Bloodline. I mean, that's, again, easy. Promo of the year, MJF's quote-unquote pipe bomb, where he called Tony Khan a fucking mark and they disappeared for 3 months. Okay. Stop this. Pay-per-view of the year, AEW Revolution. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be shitting me. This is a fucking joke. Manager of the year, Paul Heyman. Well, he's the only one who worked consistently throughout the year. Best return or debut, Bray Wyatt at Extreme Rules. I forgot he returned this year. Okay, fair enough. Male breakout wrestler of the year, The Acclaimed. The Acclaimed winning stuff, I'm good with that. Female breakout wrestler of the year, Liv Morgan. Is there any other options? There's got to be another option. There's got to be. Well, Liv Morgan it is. Best oh my god moments of the year. Brock Lesnar driving a tractor and lifting the ring at SummerSlam. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Biggest story, Vince McMahon stepping down amid sexual harassment scandal. Okay. All of that was very good. You know, given the Acclaimed breakout star of the year, fair enough. Okay, DAZN is next. So DAZN, wrestler of the year, they are immediately eliminated because their wrestler of the year is Will Ospreay. So they are immediately eliminated from being taken seriously. Their wrestler of the year is fucking Will Ospreay? What? even the most markish of sites didn't go Will Ospreay. You cannot be serious. You are disqualified from being taken seriously about anything. Okay, Will Ospreay is your wrestler of the year. We're done here. Okay, I have to go through this because I've already clicked the link, but I'm telling you right now, I don't think I'm gonna like anything they pick. Roman Reigns is an honorable mention. Will Ospreay. Fuck. Match of the year. This is clearly a joke. This is a joke. Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy. Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy is the match of the year? DAZN. How many retards did it take for you to come up with this? I could have shit on a blank sheet of paper and come up better than this. The first two fucking picks, you whiffed them both. First, Will Ospreay as wrestler of the year is absolute chaos. That's just out of control. It's reckless behavior. Match of the year, Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy. Now you just drinking. You're trolling now. All right. This is trolling. You're trolling. I'm gonna finish it because I like provocative, but this is clearly bullshit. Pay-per-view of the year. AEW New Japan Forbidden Door. Oh. Oof. This is like a fucking enema. This is awful. Storyline of the year. The Bloodline is Sami Zayn. And that's it. That's all they bothered to have. Look. DAZN, thank you for your cooperation. And but no mas. You're trash. All right. DAZN is trash from this point forward. The Sportster. Sportsters, let's see what they got here. The male wrestler of the year is Roman Reigns. Okay. So is that the only one they did was wrestler of the year? I think the only thing they did was wrestler of the year. Yep, only thing they did was wrestler of the year, and it was Roman Reigns. So they did like a write-up on Roman Reigns. I cannot believe they did this. I cannot believe he picked Will Ospreay. Oh, that's fucking with me. That's not good. That's no good. That's no good. Did Fightful do their year-end list yet? I don't know. They probably did it behind a paywall or something. A lot of those dudes are like super AEW heavy though. I don't know. I don't see anything from Fightful yet. But I've seen enough with DAZN. DAZN really fucked me up because they ain't got no business ever picking Will Ospreay to be the wrestler of the year. I don't know, brother. I'm embarrassed having to read that. Impact picked Josh Alexander as wrestler of the year. Of course they did, right? Oh, what a joke. Impact picking Josh Alexander makes more sense than DAZN picking fucking Will Ospreay. All right, guys. DAZN fucked me up. And we've been at this thing for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think we covered a lot of ground. And I'm actually okay, but I need some water. And I definitely have other things to do. So we're going to spend the next 5 or 6 minutes. I want everybody to give me their match of the year and wrestler of the year. And let me know what you guys think. The next 3 count watch along might actually be Sunday because I don't have anything planned. I have, while you guys tell me who your wrestler of the year, match of the year, etc. is, I'll just kind of give you a brief overview of where I am on Bleach. Aizen's been captured. So I just got to the part where Aizen has been sentenced to 20,000 years or whatever asleep. And now I'm kind of lost. I'm like, do I continue the series now? I don't know. I don't know what they do. I haven't watched an episode of Ben 10 in 3 weeks. I'm sorry. I forgot it existed. But Bleach, I've been watching. I'll spurg out and watch 6 episodes. Then I'll probably, I was sick for a long time, so I didn't really watch that much of it. But Ben 10, forgot it exists. I'm still on episode 14 or something like that. Yes. The build, it goes into match of the year. Yes, it absolutely does. It's part of the match. Okay. Reigns versus Paul is actually not bad. Reigns and McIntyre, I don't know. That finish, I don't really like that finish. That finish kind of left me in limbo. I'm talking with the singing and everything, not the fact that McIntyre lost. Wrestler of the year, Sami Zayn. His performance has been excellent. If you take into account work, character, progression, I can see how you can make Sami Zayn Wrestler of the Year, but I wouldn't do it. He didn't win anything. Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy, match of the year, Owen Hart tournament. I remember that match happening. Excuse me. Cody Seth, Hell in a Cell. Okay. Character of the year. NXT Deadline. What was that? Show of the year? I wouldn't do that, but I didn't like that women's one. I'm sorry. Fucking Zoe Stark, man. God damn it. No. Pass. She's going to have to be really, 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 really special in order to get over with me. Because all she did was put on a black jacket. I'm sorry. That ain't enough. Wasn't that the last match Jeff Hardy was in? Was the match with Darby? He had to go have several drinks after that. He was like, my God, I need a drink. I need a drink, man. I'm going to fall off this ladder, man. I might break my spine, make my liver quiver, man. I don't know. There's a lot of people in rehab and stuff going on right now. Pizza Guy and Action Andretti for Wrestler of the Year. Impact Slammiversary for Show of the Year. What was the main event of that show? I don't remember. It wasn't that women's match, was it? It wasn't Josh Alexander. Oh, if it was Josh Alexander in the main event, then probably not, no. Josh Alexander hasn't had a match this year that I thought was necessarily worth watching more than once. I did watch... I didn't watch the whole match with Mike Bailey. I was washing dishes and going back to it and stuff like that. That match was long, man. That match was probably too long. And then since we knew Mike Bailey wasn't going to win, the match was entirely too long. The match was like an hour, bro. WG Field Superstar of the Year, Roman Reigns. Rookie of the Year, Braun Breaker. Match of the Year, Cody versus Seth, Hell in a Cell. Character, Sami Zayn. Most overrated, MJF. Oof. Oh. That is a pretty good one. I don't know if I would call MJF most overrated, because I think that he's proven to be very important for his company. Oh, that vet stunner was probably one of the funniest OMG moments of the year, because it was so shit. It was so unyieldingly bad. You had Austin, who's almost 60, trying to chase Vince, who is in his 70s, as Vince just cannot maintain his equilibrium. He's going back whether he wants to or not. That's classic Vince, man. This guy's a fucking mess. Easily the shittiest stunner, probably to date. I don't give a damn what the tribal chief said. That's one of my funniest moments of the year because I was like, ooh. I love that moment. That moment was excellent. But, you know, funniest moment probably should be unscripted. You know. Rookie of the year, Roxanne Perez. Okay, that's a good one. You know. By definition, Mandy Rose could also be considered one of the women of the year. She did get fired at the end of the year, but I mean, she did really good before she got fired. You know. God, oof. Yeah, because Roxanne Perez literally debuted this year. I think Braun Breaker maybe debuted late last year, but this is like his first full year in operation. Oof. It works for the company he's in. Ugh, I hate that. The crowd liked it. Like, ugh. Who cares about these fucking crowds? Cheap Heat WWE references outdated fashion. Who even wears Burberry anymore? JF does. He's gonna bring it back. Just like the curls, man. He's gonna bring it back. He's got the Jew curls. He's gonna bring it back. Women of the Year, Nikita Lyons. Man, she's a woman of something. She's... I'm telling you, that girl is something else. I wouldn't call her Women of the Year, though. They didn't do shit with her. Promo of the Year from G Brother, number 1117. Promo of the Year, Ricky Starks roasted MJF. I want to give Ricky his flowers for that without hearing someone say MJF allowed it every 10 seconds. Yeah, because MJF, every time he's cut a promo on somebody else, they've allowed it, so who cares? You know, it is what it is. So what? MJF allowed it. CM Punk stood there and let MJF go off all that time, too. Who's the best spouse of the year? Brian Cage's wife, Matt Hardy's wife, or Jordan Grace's husband? Well, I think Jordan Grace's husband is only 3/5 of a man. Because he's literally like 3'5". He's easily like 3'5". Brian Cage's wife has been very quiet this year. Matt Hardy's wife was preying on her brother-in-law's downfall. She is awful. All right, she's objectively awful. All right, I'm not gonna forget that. That was awful on her part. Rebby was really wrong for that. WG Phil says best show WrestleMania 38. Best woman of the year Bianca, obviously. Most improved Butch. Most improved being Butch. Okay. Mandy would probably get most improved for me, but Butch, yeah. You're not the baddest man in NXT. Oh, I'm a pinky blind and no. I'm actually entertaining. I'm hanging out with my boy Sheamus. Rich Holland. We're doing good stuff on TV. But I could just be bending people's fingers in NXT. No, we don't want you to bend people's fingers anymore. We did that for 6 years or some shit. Guy's been on the roster for like 6 years, man. Athena for Woman of the Year. She's still wearing that Google thing on her head, ain't she? She looks goofy. Fuck Athena. Come on. She's got that weird googly thing on her head. She looks like a fucking moron. She now has taken rendered pictures of herself with the ROH Women's title and that fucking googly eye in the middle of her head. She fought for females working stiff. Well, she is a working stiff. Stiff as fuck. No personality to be had. She needs to get beat with books until she learns something. That girl dumb. Miss Hardy can't win because we named the trophy after her. The Rebby Hardy can't control herself, spouse of the year. Ninja, find the nearest river and jump in it. Best wrestler of the year, Logan Paul. Stop it. Not nearly. Not nearly. He didn't do bad, but not nearly wrestler of the year. No. He had 3 matches all year. Come on. Who else we got? Oof. Who else we got here? My wrestler of the year is Roman Reigns. Tag team of the year, the Usos. I also will accept the Briscoes or FTR. I don't argue if you have the FTR or the Briscoes. Woman of the year, clearly Bianca Belair. Jordynne Grace deserves to be on that list. So does Mandy Rose. Jordynne Grace had a really good year. Mickie James also had a pretty good year, but she's been doing this last rodeo thing for the last several weeks. She's been the bright spot of Impact and pretty much the only reason I watched that fucking show. Breakout stars of the year, Logan Paul's a good choice. I would go with the Acclaimed personally. NXT, they had people who could have broken out last year, like Grayson Waller. They chose to, put him in their back pocket, So I don't know. But Swerve, he wants G Coalition brother wants to give Swerve breakout star of the year. Everything since Swerve turned heel has been a mess. It just hasn't looked very good for him. The mogul, him hanging out with Rick Ross is good, but the affiliates, he's hanging around with 2 fucking jacked white boys. Why? Why ain't no homeboys? Why not? Shane Taylor and not that skinny motherfucker that he was hanging out with, J.D. Griffey, but Shane Taylor is one of the guys. I would bring Shane Taylor in. He's also a big motherfucker. What award would I give Wheeler Yuta? The hit the showers, hit the gym, get a clue award. Cody breakout of the year. How would you give Cody the breakout? Cody's been a star for like several years now. I wouldn't give Cody a breakout star of the year award. No. Breakout is for somebody who hasn't really, they really haven't been, either they're kind of new or they've been around, but they just haven't crashed through yet. Ricky Starks is a breakout star. The Acclaimed is a breakout star. Mandy Rose is a breakout star. Who else would be a nice little breakout star for the year? I couldn't say Carmelo Hayes because he's been at the top of the card for so long now, so he wouldn't count. Yeah, Gunther basically made his debut on the main roster this year. What's Ninja and Tomohiro Ishii? He got a fetish. It's the author's poorly disguised fetish. So Ruka has they won't do anything with her. She's there, but she won't do anything. Wheeler Yuta wins the Kevin Nash Vanilla Midget Overachievement Award. Wheeler Yuta stinks. He stinks. Cody went from mid-carder to main eventer this year. Technically, he was a main eventer last year, too. He was a main eventer in AEW. He was also a main eventer in WWE. Didn't he main event in AEW in 2021? Early 2021? When he put that damn, or was that 2020 when he put that damn rule on himself? You know what? You might be right. You might just say he went from being an upper mid-carder to a main eventer. He broke his own glass ceiling that he put on himself, which was because of his own retardation. Why he would do that, I have no idea. But he's dumb for it, for sure. I don't know, man. Like, pay-per-view of the year, Clash at the Castle is a good choice. WrestleMania is a good choice. I would, if it wasn't for the end of Clash at the Castle, I probably would go with Clash at the Castle. But I don't know, man. I probably would have to go with WrestleMania. Top to bottom. I haven't watched WrestleMania since it aired, but I'll never forget the energy I had after watching night one. That shit was crazy. Women's tag team of the year. There's not enough women's tag teams for me to pick one. I can just tell you Toxic Attraction is good. Damage Control fucking blows. And the women's tag team championships and Impact, they suck. I don't even know who the women's tag team or the Death Dolls. Never mind. It popped into my head as I was saying, I don't know who it is. AEW don't have women's tag team championships. Neither does New Japan. At least that last since I checked. AAA doesn't. None of the wrestling promotions I have women's tag team championships except NWA. And I think their tag team champions are feuding with each other. Worst stable of the year, Damage Control. I don't know, man. The Firm is pretty bad too. Damage Control fucking sucks. Oh my god, they suck. But the Firm? Oh, Lee Moriarty is in that joint. Ethan Page takes up space in that joint. The Firm is bad. Okay, the Firm is bad. It's a bad idea. It's got bad people in it. It's poorly booked. At least Damage Control, the booking is... It ain't the best. But for fuck's sake, it ain't the Firm. The Firm is awful. You know, the Firm sucks. As an idea, a collection, a group of individuals, they dress plain as shit. They look like they all work at Staples. No, fuck the Firm. It's not good. It's not good. Not good. If it comes down to worst faction, yeah, the Firm is easily for me. Just, nah. Oh, see, the Wingmen, I forgot about them. I forgot about the Factory, too. I don't even count them, though, because the Factory's been around for so long that they really don't make an impact, one way or the other. They don't piss me off or upset me one way or the other. They just exist. The Wingmen, they are on Dark. I don't watch Dark, so I can't bully them, because I don't watch them. The same thing for the Factory. I don't watch these fucking guys. The Firm is there, though. Like, they're being pushed as guys who are feuding with MJF. Now they're feuding with Danielson. It's like, fuck, get these guys out of here. They're actually getting pushed. I think Damage Control is going to get at least 1 or 2 new members. You know, I think for sure they get 1 or 2 new members next year. Because they're going to be bringing in some people, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't turn somebody heel. You're probably going to have Dewdrop or something like that join Damage Control. Why she hasn't already joined is, I think she's injured. But that would be smarter for business than whatever the fuck they doing now with Damage Control. Okay. Probably going to do about a few more minutes, then we're going to get cut out of here because it's almost midnight. And your boy is still very thirsty. I bought a bunch of Gatorades because I was dying. My ex told me about Instacart. And I went in a haze. I ordered like $90 worth of shit. So I got like stacks of Gatorade Zero that I have to drink. I made chicken soup. I made way too much. I'm not going to eat all that shit. I hate to throw it away because it's just wasting food. I don't want to freeze it either. So what the fuck am I supposed to do with all this chicken soup that I made? I ate it for 2 days and I'm sick of looking at it. And I bought some Raisin Bran. I bought a lot of Raisin Bran. I like Raisin Bran. I'm one of the only people who really like Raisin Bran. Worst wrestler of the year. Oh, Top Dollar. He's on the list. Maybe not the worst, but he's on the list. Most overrated wrestler of the year. Keith Lee is a good choice for overrated. Freeze the soup. I don't think I got enough room in my freezer for that big ass bowl of soup to put in there. You will need it. Yeah, I made so much of that shit too, man. 'Cause I thought it was gonna be all I was gonna be able to eat for days and days. Cause I was like, man, I ain't gonna be able to eat nothing. I'm gonna make like, gigantic pot of soup. I made it. I was actually feeling better before I even got done with it. What the hell is wrong with Raisin Bran? Come on now. What's wrong with Raisin Bran? But it's got shredded chicken thighs, chicken broth. I put a little cream of chicken in there. Some carrots, a lot of carrots. Some peas, a little bit of potato, a little bit, not a lot. Onion, sweet onion, the only kind of onion I use. Green onion, not green onion, but green pepper. Only kind of peppers that I use. I didn't add no salt. I didn't add any pepper. So I could give it to my mom. She's not going to eat it though. She's not going to eat enough of it for it to matter. Feed the homeless. There's not enough homeless people around here, man. I'm going to go around giving out... You know what? If I had like some cups or something like that, that wouldn't be a bad idea for me to go around giving out soup. I would have to get some cups though, like with like some tops. Yeah, that cream of chicken, I had to thicken it up because you add so much of the chicken broth to it, it's watery as shit. So I had to put something in it to thicken it up and to add some chicken flavor to it. Because when you cook chicken thighs, they don't always add the chickeny flavor that you want to it. And if you use breast, it's going to dry it out. Even if you are boiling chicken breast, it still manages to dry out. So I put a can of cream of chicken in there, and it came out perfect. It's still a little watery, but it still came out pretty creamy too. That shit's pretty good. Raisin Bran is awesome with cold water. Yo, what's wrong with y'all, man? It's cereal. Eat it with milk. Why the fuck would you be eating cereal with cold water? Put it in a flask or something. I'm gonna give it to my mom and have her donate it to the church or some shit. She might get off on that. But yeah, that cream of chicken really took it to the next level because it was taking a little brothy for a minute there. Added that cream of chicken and got that nice little color to it. I didn't add any noodles or anything. So, water on the side. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's what I do. You put some water. I always have cereal with water. You should always have dairy with water because dairy dries you out. So always drink water after you eat dairy. That's why Cold Stone sells bottles of water when you eat ice cream. That's why you're not supposed to have dairy when you're sick. It dries you out. So I absolutely had plenty of water because I was going to be eating cereal. I'm not supposed to be eating cereal. I'm not supposed to have so many carbs, but fuck, I was like, why not? I was already sick. I needed to go to sleep. So I smashed. And I ate some Frosted Flakes for dinner last night. I didn't even bother to cook. What is my favorite water brand? Absolute. My mom's friend bought her an Absolute machine for like the corner of her room because she buys like gigantic cases of water and she spends like $40 on these things of water, right? So she went and got my mom the big jugs. So we have to go over there and carry these big ass jugs in the house. And then every every couple of days, maybe a week or whatever, we have to take the old one off and put it in there. Dairy fucks you up. You know, it creates mucus. Yeah, you were right. I was right the first time. It creates mucus. But it doesn't cause you to like for the shit to come out. It makes it hard for you to fucking breathe. I mean, it's not good. That shit is trash. Oh, milk, cheese, it's just not good for you. It's really not. I can't. That's why I always do skim milk, or if I get whole milk, I'll water it down. I don't use like straight milk anymore, and I try to avoid cheese. I don't eat cheese on like cheeseburgers. Like they had macaroni and cheese for Christmas. I ate that because I didn't cook and I had to work, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna eat it." But I try to avoid macaroni and cheese. I wanted to make some lentil soup. I never got around to it though. I'm gonna make some one day. Yeah, I always water down my cereal milk and I drink water afterwards. It's an easy way to deal with all that damn dairy. It's just easy. You know, our mouth is forever dry after I eat cereal. And I didn't understand it. And it took me forever to really get it out. For me to understand that shit. Cause I used to go to Cold Stone and be like, why the fuck do they sell bottles of water? And then you eat some of that shit and you realize why. Throat be all dry, mouth be all dry. You be like, what the hell? You know, you like, what the fuck is this? You'll figure it out. I made some chili before I got sick. I was very upset that I had ate all the chili because chili would have been perfect when I was sick. I don't put carbs in my chili. Like I don't put beans in it, and I don't put like elbow macaroni and shit. That's why nobody eats my chili, you know. But the shit got perfect fucking texture. I'm telling you, the shit was excellent. It's not too thick, but it ain't runny. It ain't like Coney Island chili. It ain't like some chili from like the corner store or some shit like that. It kind of looks like it, but it tastes like real homemade chili that's gonna fill you up. You know, had that shit with some biscuits, not cornbread. Like I don't know how to make cornbread, not yet. Had that shit with some like big fluffy biscuits. Bro, that shit slapped. And the only thing I put in it was like red pepper flakes. I don't like put like whole peppers and shit. Green peppers, sure. Like chopping up a red pepper, I'm not gonna do that. I'll put like some red pepper flakes in there. Cause usually that's enough to get the heat and you'll be sweating on the back of your neck, sweating on your hairline and everything. I ate chili till I was in a fucking sauna. That's my favorite food, by the way. That's why I had to learn how to make it. I made a lot of chili that day. Yeah, I ate that shit in 2 days. I probably had more chili than I had soup. And I can't eat no more of that soup. I can't even look at it again. I don't even want to look at it no more. I took some of that soup to work. I don't even want to look at that shit no more, dog. I had 2 or 3 bowls of soup. I can't do it again. I cannot look at it again. But that chili, smashing it. And I only had the biscuits once. Because I wasn't like, killing the carbs with the shits or nothing like that. But when you put beans in chili, you get full really quickly. And it's not good. It's uncomfortable, because it gives you gas. We got the beans and the onions and all that shit. Especially if they don't cook the onions right. That shit gives you gas. And like my mom's makes chili, it's very good, but she don't cook the fucking onions. She'll put the onions in there and it's kind of like simmer a little bit, but it ain't fully cooked. Gassy than a motherfucker. You been that bitch burping and farting and sleepy and it's like, oh hell no. But if you try to caramelize the onions first, It's not gonna work. It takes forever to caramelize onions. But if you try, at least to cook the fucking onions first, and then you just dissolve all of that shit into your chili or whatever. Always cook I always cook with sweet onion. I do not cook with any other kind of onion. I only cook with sweet onions. And bell pepper to match. That's it. That's good. I do that. That works. I'm gonna think I'm gonna make some mastacholi for New Year's. I think my mom wants some. She's gonna go to church, but I think I'm gonna take her some mastacholi because I think I'm gonna make some. So I'm gonna hit up Instacart tomorrow and get the mastacholi stuff because she did me the solid of making some Christmas Eve nachos. I swung around there, man. I was sick that day too because I was sick that Saturday, and I came home and with them nachos, brother, I was in that joint sweating. And then I woke up the next day, I felt great. I had like a earthquake headache. And I wasn't supposed to be eating no fucking sodium. But I was sitting there with them fucking Doritos and that cheese, and I don't like how she makes her meat, but whatever. And I was eating that shit. Then I laid down and went to sleep. My head was like do 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 do. And then I just ate all that damn salt. So I thought I was gonna die, bro. And I woke up the next day, I felt great. And then the day after that, I felt like I was going to die again. So whatever it is she put in them nachos spared me for like 16 hours. And that was about it. How did I get on talking about food? God damn. All right. It's time to punch out. All right. Thank everybody for listening. I appreciate everybody who's stopping by. You know, we're going to catch up with... on all the stuff that I missed eventually. But thank you guys again. I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace out.